Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to part 6 of Let's Play The Outer Worlds. In the last part, we continued on the journey of Alexander, a rogue who was trapped aboard the Hope and was rescued by Phineas. Our journey has been going decently. We haven't died. I have died. But he's been finding his self in the Spacer's Choice community. Not really his thing. They're a bit too rule heavy for him. He did join, when he joined the Hope, he was expected to be nothing more than a simple, conveyor belt guy. And now that he's been given his own freedom to do whatever he wants, freedom to essentially exist in his own choice. Anyone who might even slightly send him back or cause him issue, such as the lieutenant, I believe it was, we killed when we docked, or when we went to our ship, or went to what was going to be our ship, or became our ship. He killed her, or we killed her. Fucking hell. I don't know how you didn't hear that, bud. But you now shared his fate. Congratulations. But yeah, so at the moment we're just helping the town of Edgewater. Because right now, they're not really an issue. They're more just they're not even a hindrance, I'd say. They don't know, they're not onto us, therefore they're not a problem. What does this do? Max health increase, plus natural health regeneration. Alright, one thing we're going to do is any, drugs and stuff like that is immediately going to junk. That looks like it could be a drug. I don't know what, at the moment there's no point doing that, because what we need to do is we need to get rid of some stuff. Everything weighs too much. You know what? Break that down, and we'll break that down as well. Give me a little bit of leeway. I think next time we get to Edgewater, we just need to sell all of the stuff apart from the Adreno. Because right now, I'm probably not going to be... my medicine skill's probably never going to be high enough for me to change it. There's a guy there. There's no guy right in front of the door. Good. Which means we can move into here safely. Suck a dick. Right, so far our stealth around here has gone pretty much as it should do. Seeing as we are well, this is apparently what I'm looking for is in the main room. Or it's in this room here. Which is barred. I'm going to assume you get that from upstairs. We need to go to that. Ooh. I'm going to go clear out this place before I go there. Because I feel like that main terminal may have something to do with it. But I also don't trust. Alright. So there's two guards, what it looks like. Adreno. Right, that's everyone. I got spotted at the last hurdle because I fucked myself, let's be honest. I popped out too early. Isn't that something? Is that something I can read? So I'm gonna assume that's something I've just automatically read. Right. Right, so I'm going to assume this is how we get in. Spaceless choice property, terminal access, hack, keycard encoded. Thank you for choosing Spaceless choice. Logs. History of the Emerald Vale exhibit. Synopsis. The history of the Emerald Vale, once complete, will display the proud heritage of our settlement for generations to come, decorating the main hall of our noble community center. This elaborate diorama of memorabilia of our settlement's founding will embody the hard-working spirit of the Spaces family. The centerpiece of this grand exhibit will be a taxidermized mantiquine erected within our main lobby as a sign of civilization's victory over nature itself. Right, I'm a little bit confused how the fuck I get in here. This way. Oh. Right. I'm less confused now, because there's the cache of medicine I needed. Right. Oh, that was the door that was barred. Right, let's get out of here. Because at this point, we've got everything, I believe. We've got the medicine, we've got the book. Yeah, we can now return to Edgewater with all the quests complete. Interstellar Championship for Tossball. I believe Tossball is a very American thing, and it's not really something I've ever heard of. Or at least I've ever had the experience.
Stay away!
Hello, pal. There we go. I think it's bullshit that you guys know where I am. Yeah, I definitely think one-handed weapons and long range, long weapons are going to be our thing. Ooh. I don't personally want to walk back, but I may have to walk back at this rate. Because I may have to walk back, I'm just going to pull out my assault rifle. I don't know if there's any, people we don't want to get into around here. In case there is, obviously you want to have your best weapon. Well, not your best, but you want to have a rapid-fire weapon out. Okay, is there anything I can get rid of? Like that, we can break down straight away. Pistol, we can break down. You're not worth enough. Break you down. You guys are worth nothing. We'll break all you guys down. Sneak. Nah. Don't need that. That I like. That we can now get rid of. Same with this. Now we can sprint again, which means I can bring my dagger out. So, let's see what, how much money these people, the people are willing to pay for the drugs. The medicine. So, I think we're going to return it to the woman. I think that makes the most sound choice because she's willing to pay for it.
A friend of mine died a couple weeks back.
I've got some time.
We got the medicine you were after.
Thanks. I'll see to it that this medicine gets to the people who need it. Here, something for your trouble. Nothing personal, but I hope we never do business together again. Don't want to make a habit of consorting with smuggler types.
It's not that simple. You want my silence, you're going to have to buy it.
And there it is. The reason I don't like depending on a criminal. I kept a little contingency fee in case you decided to shake me down.
I'm curious. Who are you going to give that medicine to?
Somebody deserving. Silas, on account of him being out in the cold. Amelia, seeing how she's around people all the time. Anybody in the sick room?
What do you do here?
Oh, I'm an actuary. That means I keep tabs on a worker's living expenses. How much it costs to feed, clothe, shelter, bury, and replace your average human worker. Technically, I'm employed by the Spacer's Choice Department of Human Resources.
I'll leave you be. Not really fussed about what you do. Right. I think it's time we got sneak up a little bit. So we'll get sneak up to 30 and lock all these up to 30. And then I think it's a bit of time we got long guns up to 30 as well. Or close as possible. Tile dilation location hits. You have unlocked the location hit effects for tactical time dilation. Hitting enemies in different locations during TTD maims or cripples those body parts. Try a different location to see the different effects. Hit to the chest produce different effects when using different weapons. That's all we got. Let's go hand in the money or hand in the fingers.
Vale's a little safer, thanks to you.
I'd like to turn in a bounty.
We pay by the finger. What do you have for me? Mabel Burgess, age 37, right or left-handed? Let's just say no longer applicable. I remember Doc Burgess. Conducted my physical every fiscal quarter. Guess she couldn't keep her hands off her patient's medicine. Still one outstanding bounty. If you've got a finger, I've got the paperwork. Here we are, Bertie Cotton. Cause of death. Let's just say overwhelming physical trauma. Bert was the local preacher before Max took over. Always was quick to remind us that we all get what we deserve in the end. Well, that's all three. I must remember to requisition some more fingerprint ink. Here's all the compensation you've earned, plus a bonus.
What's this? Junior Deputy Constable.
You've done such a bang-up job hunting down our former workers that I thought it only proper to deputize you. Congratulations.
I don't know how I feel about that. Though that may allow me to commit crimes a little bit easier. You never know, right? I'm not going there yet. I need to go to the preacher first, which is over here. Once we've spoken to Max, then we can go see the big guy.
Any progress on that matter we discussed?
I've got your book right here.
Wonderful. This is fantastic. Well worth all the sacrifices I... Wait. What the fuck is this? Is this French? I can't fucking read French. It's a law-forsaken joke is what it is. French. Ha! I was so high and mighty, preaching to the yokels about following the plan, while fighting it at every turn.
What does that do? I don't want to press it. You didn't want that book to keep from the others from reading it. You just wanted to do it for yourself.
Well, yes. But I assure you, it was not for personal gain, only for the greater good. I've spent my life searching for the keys to unlocking the secrets of the universal equation that underlies the plan. I had hoped this book held some of those answers. I became so desperate, I even got myself assigned to this plague-ridden backwater to find the damn thing. All the time and suffering I've spent. Wasted.
Ah, it has to be some kind of cosmic retribution.
Yes, you're right. Such are the workings of the equation. And I've only my own hubris to blame. I certainly never planned for this contingency. But that's neither here nor there. What I need to do now is to find a translator, obviously. But to do that, I'll first need to secure transport. You have a ship. Perhaps I could make myself of use to your crew.
What's in it for me?
Free spiritual counseling, someone to watch your back, not to mention a grown-up in the party. I'm pretty handy with a tossball stick, or any blunt instrument really. I'm also a passable gun hand if it comes to that. I can usually talk my way out of conflict, though. Oh, I'm fairly competent at hacking computers as well.
Is that all part of your vicar training?
Well, understanding computers is, though I admit I took it further than most. And I was quite the 32nd back during my seminary days. Left many an opponent bleeding on the field.
You even a vicar? Because you aren't sounding very vicarly right now.
Of course. I'm a vicar who is dedicated to his calling. More dedicated than any other you'll find in this colony. I joined the OSI to help decipher the grand plan. But instead, I ended up the vicar in a prison due to ignorance and politics. Then I came here. Satisfied?
I don't think you're being completely honest with me about that book. What's the story?
It's the journal of one of the originators of the Philosopher's School of Thought, though it would be more than a century before it was perverted into that belief system. Philosophism's a false religion that stands in contradiction to almost everything we know to be true. They believe all is chaos, in stark contrast to OSI's belief in the plan. But most of that came later. Bakonu had some interesting theories about man's perception of reality that I thought could be applied to our attempts to decipher the plan.
How'd you get assigned to prison duty?
Most laypeople are not aware of this, but we've not discovered any new insights into the plan for a long, long time. I had an idea that we should welcome the truth, no matter where we found it. I had the worse idea to share my thoughts with a superior. And that's the long and short of it. So, what do you think?
So at the moment, he seems like he seems like a decent guy. So I think Alex would take him along purely because, why not? I mean, you always need a friend, and if anything goes south, we can just kill him. There is always that. So sounds good. Let's go.
Fantastic. Let me get my things in order, and I'll catch up with you. I shall see you on the ship, Captain, whenever you're ready to leave Emerald Vale.
Like at the moment, there isn't anything that about him that screams shouldn't have take him on. And even Alex could get lonely. But yeah, at the moment it looks like we need to go talk to the big guy. Oh, look at the logs. Notice, the Edgewater Saltuna Cannon Facility strictly adheres to Spacer's Choice standards of health and safety. Notice, schedule your sick leave with Spacer's Choice foreman and or superior, or supervisor. Be considerate towards other members of the Spacer's Choice family. Allow 2 to 4 weeks to process and approve your scheduled sick leave. Lost hours must be compensated to the company. See Reed if you're having trouble paying for your sick leave. We'll try to arrange wage deduction instead. Remember, work invigorates the spirit. Sickness in the body, it reflects sickness in the mind and sickness in the character. If you find yourself falling ill, it may be time to schedule a meeting with our local vicar. Do not know what that does. God, you can't even escape bad fucking elevator music in there. In video games.
Seems we've got a guest. Really now, Parvati, I do wish you'd spoken up. I do apologize. I was given no forewarning of your arrival, or I might have welcomed you at the gates myself.
I'll wait until you're finished.
You were saying, Miss Holcomb.
It's just what Bess needs is a proper refurbish. I can bandage her up and what all, but she's just old. Sorry, I'm sorry. I'll do better.
And I do wish you'd stop referring to our cannery as Bess. Personification of company property is strictly contrary to the Spacer's Choice Code of Conduct. My apologies. I am not in the habit of allowing my guests to witness such a row. Now, what can I do for you?
You must be the town boss.
I'm Reed Thompson, Outpost Administrator. I must say, wearing a marauder's outfit is in very poor taste. I do wish you'd show your uniform a little more respect.
I don't work for Spacer's Choice.
Of course not. I don't have that kind of luck. Seems I allowed my excitement to run away with my wits. Been a few seasons since we've had a visitor pass through.
My ship needs repairs. I'm looking for a power regulator.
Only regulator we got is hooked up to the town transformer. Mr. Thompson ain't liable to be keen on dismantling it.
I beg your pardon. I am most emphatically not keen on any such thing. I can't let you have our power regulator. But I happen to know of another one. And I happen to know exactly how you may retrieve it without frying yourself in the process.
Let me guess. Do you want me to do something for you before you help me?
My proposition benefits the both of us. Please, hear me out. There's a power regulator in the old botanical lab. It's mostly abandoned, so all that power is being squandered. Go down to the geothermal plant. Reroute power from the botanical district over to us. Once their power's shut down, you can have their regulator and be along on your way.
When you say mostly abandoned, what do you mean?
I was not entirely sure how to tell you this. The botanical labs are not legally inhabited, but there are people who live there.
What a surprise. I never would have guessed.
I am not trying to pull one over on you, friend. You were bound to run into them sooner or later. The people living in the botanical labs, they're deserters, former workers. I need them back at their posts. I need them to come home.
If you want me to solve your deserter problem, I charge by the head.
Good law, no. I don't want you killing anyone, least of all them. My hope is that by cutting off their power, you will convince those deserters to come back to town. Before you go to the plant, I want you to stop by the botanical lab. Speak to their leader, Adelaide. Tell her the power's about to go, and that it's time her band of deserters came back to town.
So how will I recognize Adelaide?
Adelaide's older than the other deserters. She's dignified, kindly. From what I understand, her camp looks to her for leadership.
What if Adelaide doesn't want to come back?
That is not a hypothetical I enjoy entertaining. We need Adelaide back. Nonetheless, I will settle for the return of her followers. We belong to one community, the Spacer's Choice family. If we dissolve into factions, then we will all perish separately. Adelaide will understand that.
Alright, Reed. I'll see what I can do to help you.
My dad told me all about the plant. Taught me all he knew. I could come in useful. I mean, if that's all right with you, Mr. Thompson. Sir.
I hesitate to part ways with Miss Holcomb, but I cannot deny that she is talented and may prove useful to you. You will need an administrative passcode in order to enter the plant. I am trusting you with mine, and trusting Miss Holcomb to guide you if you'd like.
Sure, I could use the company.
Great! I got my wrenches and diagnosticators and hairpins and engine tape, so I'm all set.
Well, I am glad to hear that. Best of luck to you, and thank you again for your help. It is a lot to ask of a stranger, I know.
Let's get going. So, now the reason we accepted her help is purely because Meat Shield. At this point, literally Meat Shield. It sounds very bad, but Meat Shield. So CNP, new manager seminar, companions. You've gained a companion. They are characters that join in your adventures and help in variety of ways. Companions provide combat support. Their skills enhance your skills. They increase your carrying capacity. You can unlock special companions' combat skills with the inspiration skill. Learnable right companions and companion ledger. TNL makes the best gear for your friends and family. Companion perks. Your companion is leveled up and can be granted a new perk. Go to the companion page in your ledger and select perk and the available perks. Now, so obviously not. We didn't just accept her purely because Meat Shield. We accept her because one Meat Shield, two, because I don't see why he will. At the moment, we may be a rogue. We may be intent on making sure no one stops us doing what we want, but there's no reason we can't have friends. We're not a bad person inherently. And at the moment, we're trying to help, and having someone there who could help with us is probably the best thing at the moment for us. And we also don't really know where we're going, so having someone to help would help. TNL makes the best gear for your friends and family, the Companion Ledger. This Companion Ledger shows you everything you need to know about your companions. You can see their skills, stats, status effects, and gear. To change your companion's gear, first select the item you want to swap out, then choose a compatible item to replace it with. You can also change how they behave in combat by selecting the preferred weapon, follow distance, and aggressiveness. Is that better? Is it fuck? That's yours, and Sure, have a pistol. Yeah, we'll keep your normal item. Right, so you've got a perk. What perk can I get here? Generate... No, yeah, generate all the threat. Distance, close, weapon, prefer melee, and be aggressive. Yeah, I'm not gonna try and rob anyone here. That seems like a dumb idea.
We better clear out of Mr. Thompson's office before we talk.
So before we end this part, we're gonna have a conversation with Parvati.
Hey, mister, can we talk? Sorry. Can we chat? Sorry. You just want to get out of here. And you likely don't want to tag along like me. It's just, Mr. Thompson has his own view on matters, on account of it's his job and what all, but that's not the only side of the tale.
Figures. Reed didn't exactly strike me as the most honest soul.
Oh, he ain't a liar. He believes every word he says. It's just, he doesn't always get where other folk are talking from. To Mr. Thompson, a person's a gear. It does its job quiet-like. If it squeaks or stutters, it gets replaced. The deserters are decent folk. I knew some of them before they left.
Did you know this Adelaide Reed mentioned?
Miss McDevitt? Oh, gosh, no. She was a real important person. A flavorist. Made all the food taste decent. She used to work up in the big office with Mr. Thompson. All I know is she left after her son died. It was a real big to-do. I could hear them both yelling clear from my own place.
I couldn't blame anyone for wanting to leave. This town's got issues.
Life's hard here. Especially for them that don't fit in so well. We're one big Spacer's Choice family, but every family's got the one the rest whisper about. Mr. Thompson's aiming to take away their power. They'll have no lights to see, nor heat to cook. They'll be at the mercy of marauders, or worse. I think you should talk to the town's vicar about it. Max, his name is.
I met the vicar. He asked me to find a book for him.
Books are for rich folk. I wonder what he wants with something like that.
So why do we need to talk to the vicar about? Flipping a switch in your power mill?
About if what Mr. Thompson proposes to do is upright. Leaving Miss McDevitt's folk to their fate. Their neighbors. Kin. And maybe he can think of something else to try. Something we ain't. He used to go walking outside town. Maybe he found something that'll help. It's just an idea. That's all.
I suppose it couldn't hurt. We'll stop by.
Thanks, mister. I just think when you gotta make a decision that'll hurt somebody, it's best to think on the right and wrong of it. That's what my dad used to say anyways.
I'm more inclined to say, if it doesn't affect me, then I'm not really that bothered. If it affects me, then I'm bothered. We're very much in that camp of thinking.
I've always felt weird in here. It's too clean.
I'll meet you on the ship when you're ready to depart from Emerald Vale. Captain.
Parvati wanted to talk to you about what Reed asked us to do.
But what? I thought you would talk to him.
You wanted to speak to me, Ms. Holcomb? Every time I've tried to engage you in conversation, you look at the floor, answer in single words, and slink away. I can't imagine what would be so grave as to drive her to my mission. What has Mr. Thompson asked you to do?
Cut powers to the deserters. If you could answer quickly, we're in a hurry.
I can see why that troubles you. Miss Holcomb has a soft heart. Always has, if you believe the talk.
Right, great. Can we wrap this up?
Assuming your goal is to save as many as possible, then you should bring everyone together. Send the power to Edgewater and convince the deserters to return to the fold.
Alright, just talk everybody into coming together. I'll keep that in mind.
If it were as easy as a few soothing words in the right ears, I'm sure it would have been done already. Consider it a challenge.
I just thought something else I need to be doing. Such as killing all the deserters by accident. I'll just assume that they attempted to, resist. We can also now have an extra 10. We can now hold an extra 10 goods on us. How good's that, ladies and gentlemen?
Miss Holcomb ain't allowed in this establishment. Not since that little incident.
What incident?
Ask her if you care. I'm running a business here.
I won't touch anything while we're in here, Mr. Moreau. I promise.
Suit your
Music to my ears.
So, I don't want that. I don't want any of these, actually. I'm so rich. I'm so rich. I'm so rich. Any mods we've got 2 of, I'm going to get rid of 1 of them. Purely because obviously 1 of each is going to be, should be enough. Right, I am just going to get rid of everything I can, right, all of these at the moment. In the future, I'm going to, like, you know, pay a little bit more attention, but for now, I think I'll just get rid of them and that should be fine. Right, doesn't seem to be anything that I could need. A bypass shunt. Buy 3 of those and we'll buy that. And yeah, I think that's all good. I do like their assault rifle look, but it's not really something I need. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, in the next
If you're
part...
falling sick, I don't want you near me.
In the next part, we'll continue on. See you guys then.